Thank you. My name is Kevin, as a lot of you probably already know, but some of you may not. I am here this evening to talk about a new movement that's called Foster's Voice. This movement was started on July 30th of this year. It's just about 4 weeks old, and it's to help raise awareness for suicide, depression, and mental illness. So Foster's Voice, kind of an odd name, right? What is Foster's Voice? Well, Foster is not a what. Foster is a who. To know about Foster's Voice, I need to tell you briefly about who Foster was. As a child, Foster was a little boy with spiky hair. He had glasses. They were bent, crooked, mangled, thumbprints, fingerprints all over them. Typical boy, right? He loved to play sports. He loved to play, period. He'd come home and he'd have 2 holes in his jeans on his knees. Go figure, right? We went through a lot of jeans. He used to play in the backyard, and he would dream about being the next starting pitcher in Game 7 of the World Series for the Chicago Cubs. He had a lot of friends, a lot of friends. He would go to birthday parties and they would come to his. He would spend the night and then they would spend the night with him. He was a clown. He was funny. He always laughed. Grade school and middle school came and went. The glasses were long gone. And he went to UT, United Township High School, right here in East Moline. He played football, he played baseball. He spent a year on the golf team because he loved to play golf. His senior year, he was on homecoming court. After high school, he decided that he was going to move out. I'm a man. I can take care of myself. He worked full-time at Stashu's in Moline, and he loved his job. It was like a frat house. He worked with all of his friends. Who wouldn't love that? He enjoyed the people. He enjoyed meeting people. He enjoyed being around people. He went to school full-time at Blackhawk. Foster wanted to be a police officer.
Good job.
He spent 2 years in high school preparing for that goal and was trying to take it a step further. About 6 months ago, Foster started to change. He started to withdraw. He started to pull back from family activities. He was busier. Just didn't feel like it. Social media posts started to become sad. Instead of talking about sports, he was talking about how he was feeling. On July 21st of this year, at 11:58 a.m., Foster was pronounced dead by the Rock Island County coroner. Foster took his own life. I'm very passionate about Foster's voice. It's my life journey to push it across the country. Because I stand here before you on July 21st of this year at 11:58 a.m. I lost my son. I lost my best friend. I lost my future generations. I lost my Foster. That night, as my wife and I laid in bed crying and sobbing and not knowing how we were even going to exist the next day, we knew that Foster was not a statistic. We knew that Foster was a person. We knew that Foster had a future. And we knew that we were going to have to give it to him. Through Foster's voice, we can bring awareness to suicide. We can bring awareness to depression. We can bring awareness to mental illness. We can reach out to others and we can tell them it is okay to be sad. We can tell them it is okay to be depressed. We can tell them that it is okay to take off your mask. You don't have to hide it anymore. Tell somebody. Tell a friend. Tell a parent. Tell an aunt. Tell an uncle. Tell a teacher. Tell your priest. Tell your pastor. Talk to somebody. Tell me. Everybody here, if you hear me, tell me, because I will respond. Foster won't get to be a police officer. But I promise you, he is going to protect and serve. Foster's voice started on July 30th by a grieving family, has reached every state in the United States through social media, including Alaska, Hawaii. We have reached Canada, and yes, we reached Europe. If everybody here today will go to Facebook, because everybody has Facebook, pretty much, and you go to Foster's Voice, you don't even have to like it if you don't want to. But if you go to Foster's Voice and you go to the photos and you share the National Suicide Hotline number, I promise every person here, you just saved a life. I am a very determined man. I am a grieving father. And I am not alone. I have talked to thousands of people across the United States that are reaching out to me that are either in the same situation or in the same situation feeling like what my son was. It is an epidemic and it's gotta stop. How do we stop it? love, compassion, caring, hello, thank you, please. That's how we stop it. Because for a person who is severely depressed and possibly suicidal, one moment changes the day. One moment gets them to the next day. One moment saves their life. I have met a gentleman named Bob Polk. He's from Wichita, Kansas. He reached out to me the day after we started Foster's Voice. And he's the same grieving father that I am. And he told me that he is dedicated to change the world. I stand up here today to tell you that we are joining him and others because we are dedicated to change the world. It starts in East Moline. And then it goes across the country. And I promise everybody that's here, I will not quit. Foster's Voice will not quit. Everybody in a blue t-shirt here tonight will not quit. We're not going away. We are going to make a difference. We are going to change the world. And why are we going to do that? We're going to do that for you and for your family. Because don't ever say, not me. I did. From a grieving father to everybody who's been kind enough to be quiet and listen to me talk and to tell my son's story, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Guys, round of applause one more time for Kevin Atwood, Father Foster. All right, we've got some live bands coming up, but I want to let you guys all know that this is exactly what